welcome to my Rocked Up Frocks series. Welcome back if you've been here before and you've seen some of the other projects that I've done, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. In this series I take vintage and pre-loved clothing, I take clothing pieces that I've had in my wardrobe or pieces that my friends have had in their wardrobe, and I give them a little makeover and give them a new life. And today it's Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. Whether you're celebrating love with someone you love, with a partner, whether you're celebrating love by yourself, self-love, self-care is really important. So if you're not with someone, celebrate you and do something that you love. So I thought I'd do a little quick upcycling Valentine's inspired project. So I've got this denim jacket which I bought in a charity shop ages ago. I think it was from the one I found when I went shopping with Kimmy. And I thought today I would add a little heart-shaped back patch to it with some beading coming out. This is a project that you don't need a sewing machine for. We're just going to be using an iron and we're going to be doing some hand sewing. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Your support means so much to me and I love reading your comments and getting your tips, and I hope you're inspired to do some sewing and some upcycling for yourself. Let's get started. What you'll need to make your heart patch on the back of your jacket is a piece of paper folded in half and a pen to make a template. You'll need whatever fabric you want to make your patch from. I'm going to use some sequin offcuts that I had lying around. You'll need some of this double-sided interfacing. So what you do is this irons onto the back of the fabric and then you iron it again onto your jacket. To decorate it, I'm going to be using a series of these little glass beads, all of which I had in my stash. I might use some of these little flat back red crystals too. And then you'll need needles and some thread to do the beading, so I'm using a clear thread for this. So the first thing to do is to make our pattern. Take whatever you're going to be putting your patch onto. So I've got the back of the jacket here where I want to put it, and then I'm going to work out how big I want my heart to be and draw it roughly on here. Remember, you're just drawing half of your heart at this stage. You don't have to do a heart, you could do a star or whatever shape you want to do. Then grab a pair of paper scissors and cut it out. Then we can open it up and see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much a great size for what I want, because I'm going to do some lines of beading coming off it as well, so I'm happy with that. So next I'm going to cut a piece of the double-sided interfacing a little bit bigger than my heart template, and I'm going to cut a piece of my sequin fabric to the same size. Once all your layers are cut out, put your sequin fabric right side down on your ironing board, and then you'll have your double-sided interfacing, and then on top of that your paper, and this paper is going to stop the interfacing sticking to your iron. And then using a hot iron, I'm on about 2 on this. Let's see how that goes. I've got some steam going on too. Use your iron to stick the double-sided interfacing onto your sequin fabric. While it's cooling, I'm going to draw around my heart template and cut it out. Once it's cut out, it looks like this, and we can peel the paper backing off. It's a little bit tricky to get started sometimes. And as you peel it off, you'll see that the double-sided interfacing is now stuck to the sequin fabric. And the next thing to do is to iron it onto our jacket. I've got my jacket over my ironing board. I've lined up my heart patch where I want it to go. I've lined it up with the back seam of the jacket, and now I'm going to use my iron to iron it in place, being careful that it doesn't move. Cool. And that's stuck firmly down. Yep, that's stuck firmly down all the way around. Now that's on the jacket, it's time to decorate it. Next thing I'm going to do is draw the lines with my magic disappearing pen of where I want the beading to be coming out. I don't want this to be too symmetrical. I'm going to do some longer ones and some shorter ones. Oh, I don't know, maybe symmetry is good actually. If you haven't heard me sing the praises of this pen enough already, I'm going to do it again. Get one of these pens in your life, it's brilliant. You can draw on pretty much most fabric and it disappears after a few hours. So the one I'm using is Air Erasing by Soline. Just check it on your fabric first just to make sure it does disappear, but I've never really had a problem on anything. Yeah, I'm happy with that. The first beading job I'm going to do is to glue on some of these red flat back crystals, and to do that I'm going to use gemstone glue and a pair of tweezers with a little curved end to them. So I'm going to take a little blob of the gemstone glue on the end of a little toothpick and put it where I want it. And I'm going to be leaving gaps between the crystals because I'm going to go around and bead between them afterwards. Cool, I'm happy with that, so I'm going to leave it to dry for half an hour, just let all the glue dry, and then come back and bead between all the crystals. It's time to start beading. The crystals have all dried and they're all glued on really well. So now in a little bowl, I've put a mixture of all the little glass beads that I'm going to be using into this bowl. And I've got a little thin beading needle loaded up with a double thread of the clear thread. I'm going to start at where I've drawn the end of my line for this little line of beads coming off. I'm going to kind of come up from underneath with my needle so the knot is on the inside of the jacket. Then I'm going to take one of the smaller beads, put it over my needle, pull it all the way down, and then I'm going to go back in right next to that and come up a little bit further down the line that I've drawn for my beading to go on. And the idea is I want the beads to fade out at the end, so I'm going to do them closer and closer as we get nearer the heart. So let's do another one. So bead on the needle down to where the line is, back in and then up, and this time I'm leaving a little bit less of a gap. I'm going to keep going, doing that same thing just with single beads all the way down this line. And once I reach the crystals, I'm going to start doing the beads so they actually touch each other. And I've got bigger beads here as well, so I'll start using some of the bigger ones in a moment too. Also now I'm going to add a bigger bead, and then once you get further down you can put two beads on at once. I'm going to do two small ones together now and then come up the other side of that first crystal. Well, not, this clear thread's a pain to work with, but it looks really good when it's done. So I've got two beads together next to each other now. Then I'm going to keep going with double beads and big beads, touching each other until I get down to the heart. Now I'm kind of going across my line, so I'm coming up one side of the line and then going back in the other side. You see how that's starting to look chunkier as we get nearer the heart. Now I'm going to fill in the gaps at the edge of the heart between the crystals exactly the same way, so either using a single bigger bead or two of the little tiny beads. And I'm just going to bead with either side of the edge of the heart in between where the crystals are. Cool, so this is the look we've got going on with the beading, and I'm going to finish going around the rest of the heart and doing the rest of the little lines coming off it now, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like when I'm done. I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. I hope you feel inspired. You can use any kind of fabric or offcut that you've got to do this with, and it doesn't have to go on a jacket. This would work really well on the pockets of jeans or on the legs of jeans, on the front of dresses, or even on cushions and home furnishings as well. So let your imagination just run wild and see what you can come up with. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with some more videos.